Welcome to OpenTechTalks.tv. And today we have with us CEO of eStrategic Marketing, Emmanuel Rose. And if I just refer to the profile of Emmanuel, I can say he's himself a university. And that's what we are going to learn from a teacher, that how the marketing works. He wrote a couple number of books, and I'm very humbled to have him on the podcast. And we all collectively, me as an audience is although I'm hosting it, but I'm also an audience to learn from him and get to the insight on what is going on and how he started, and learn something on the marketing and in his work, what he's doing with number of customers and organizations. So Manuel, welcome to the team. Can you, if you introduce yourself to the audiences, that will really help to set the context for our discussion.
You betcha. Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm looking forward to our conversation. And yeah, I've been involved in sales and marketing for over 30 years now. And like you said, I've written these 3 books on authentic marketing, and then I also have a series of children's books about experiencing nature that I've written for my grandkids and kids that age, kind of 2 to 5 years old.
Okay. And now you have a 30 years experience. So let's start from now. So what are you doing now? So how you describe it?
Yeah, I help businesses with digital marketing, and we work either as part of their team or as their entire marketing department, and help navigate the myriad choices that are available now for reaching people to tell them the marketing stories, websites and email and text and ads and social media and video, all the various tactics, and it just depends on who they need to reach and how they are best reached.
Okay. And is it some industry specific or across the board, whatever organization comes, or you have some certain set of sectors that yes, we are specialized in certain industries, or maybe?
Yeah, I have a background in manufacturing, both in clothing manufacturing and then also electronics. So LED light bulbs and radios and transmitters, those sorts of things. So I work well with those. And then also health and fitness. We've been working with health clubs and personal trainers and massage therapists and those kinds of companies for about 25 years now. So 2 very distinct activities. The lead generation for B2C, business consumer, is way more important on a daily basis, where B2B and marketing is longer buying cycles, and so that takes a different set of tactics.
Okay. And for our discussion, we need to, for example, if there are a new technology company or maybe an enterprise, it could be anyone, right? So what are the common traits or common misconceptions you are seeing it in running the marketing by these organizations, which need to be maybe aligned to the new generation, which we are seeing, Generation Z, or so what are the common?
I think, in marketing parlance, we call it stratification. And I think companies still picture target markets as just, these are my customers, right? They're, and it's too big of a group. And so we've got to get down to these, some people call it the ideal client profile or target market, or, your best customer. You build these profiles, understand not just the demographics, who those people are by age and those sorts of things, but then also by psychographics, and why are they looking to buy? What's the situation that created the urgency? So the more that we are able to identify that in the front and build hypothesis, then we're better able to assess it by data from the success of the campaigns. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that too many companies see marketing as a variable expense that they can cut when, to save money. And that really is to cut the nose and spite the face, right? That you always have to be selling the next group of customers. So that's the second thing. And then the third thing would be that the CEOs often are reticent to be the out and be the face of the company, and that is critical now to reach the younger group, the Gen Zs. They demand that. They demand this kind of social CEO, and it just builds the authenticity of the brand. It is what they want to see. So those are the three biggest things that I see that companies make mistakes with.
Right. And if I pick up a point, social CEO, you named it, and that's a new term. I just heard it. And if we maybe go in one level deep into to just elaborate it more, social CEO mean that who has his own credibility and personality, which is bringing to the brand or bringing to the organization, right?
Yeah, if we
And
think about,
which
yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, please go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So we look at these kind of superstar CEOs like Kylie Jenner, right? One of the world's youngest billionaires, Richard Branson, even Warren Buffett, right? He's a reluctant social CEO, but he is. And so we want to associate brands. We don't want to just buy stuff. We've all bought enough stuff in our lives that we want to buy things that resonate with us. Elon Musk is a great example because he's both the savior and the devil to a lot of people. You love him for Tesla, you hate him for Twitter, right? And so some people do. So, but these kind of superstar CEOs show us what the path is. In that we want to tell the stories of the brand and why are we running these organizations? What about me is driving me to participate in this organization for these products and services?
Okay, and you named very well known personalities. Now, if we brought this concept back to maybe a new company or a startup in any space, and whoever is building this startup or establishing it, he's not having that social profile. So what he need to do to get into that road? Any views?
Well, it's great. I mean, everybody's starting out. I mean, typically somebody has at least a few connections on LinkedIn, right? And some Instagram followers and maybe a Twitter account. So my guidance is a very, very straightforward, duct tape, simple process, which is 90 seconds of video every Monday morning by the CEO about a great problem that the company solved, or an interesting story about one of the staff that works for you, an interesting product innovation that recently has happened, a great customer story. So that every week we get this 90 seconds of video, and then from that video, then we're able to spawn all the content that we need for social, for email, for blog posting, and the marketing becomes very straightforward at that point, because we have this single point of truth coming from the leader, and it tells great stories.
I like the idea. Excellent. Thank you. Now, if I relate this question to an individual who's working in any organization, all right, in any capacity, maybe he's a CIO, or maybe he's IT manager, or maybe he's an individual contributor or consultant. It could be a project manager. So, is it important for within this social circle or a social life we are getting into it? Is it important for him also that he need to have his marketing, or maybe he need to sell his skills? So what is the best way for individuals like me, like others who are working full-time somewhere, and they also need to have their own brand or identity or credibility maybe?
Well,
So
that's
how you
great.
relate to it?
Yeah, I mean, it just depends how aggressive you want to be, right? You could
Mm-hmm.
have the kashifmanzoor.com, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
you would talk about, you'd have an About Us section, and you'd have a
Mm-hmm.
blog, and you'd have a homepage about the activities you're involved in, the community groups that are important to you, and that you would have your own web page, and um, that is one thing. But I would say the LinkedIn profile is still, um, even with all the changes that have happened with LinkedIn, there's still a very powerful nexus of
Mm-hmm.
personal branding, and
Mm-hmm.
that um, creating a post, one post a week is plenty to comment on same kind of idea, right? Like a project that you're working on, or
Mm-hmm.
um, why you coach your daughter's soccer team and what you're getting from it, or an organization that you're involved with that just had a fundraiser and that you want to talk about, so that we get a sense of you as the professional and you as the human, and and that with LinkedIn, especially, you want to always tag other people who also are your brand advocates, your friends or colleagues who can chime in and bring some algorithm juice to it, and then also
Right.
to create
Right.
some hashtags, right? And so uh, that level of a 500 word post, hashtags, and connecting with other people on it once a week is enough to build a track record, so that when the other HR organizations or people need to vet you, they see that you're a professional who understands the modern way that we're
Right.
doing this, right?
Great. Great. Great inputs. Now, as now we relate to some of the areas which are common and hot in our industry and overall AI, and with the chat GPT and everything. So how you are seeing effect or impact on the marketing, especially from agencies, or the way you providing your services, or to the organizations, and what we can get out of it.
Well, I think what's most interesting today for me is that um, there's still professionals who haven't tested any kind of AI. So they don't even know how to get to Claude or to Bard or to ChatGPT, right? They haven't even played with it yet.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one end, and these are successful business people or successful entrepreneurs, but haven't yet started to dip the toe. And I think that's a critical thing, is to start using it just for your fantasy football league, or
Right.
writing an email to your daughter, right? Just use it for fun if there's not a professional reason. The
Mm-hmm.
flip side of that is the avalanche of content that's being created that is full of hallucinations and bad grammar and awful marketing that's being broadcast out from it. So those are the two extremes. And in the middle there are the people who are learning how to write prompts and how to interact with it, and um, referencing work they've done in the past in those prompts, so that there is and editing it and
True. True.
working with it. And that's, I think, the sweet spot, right? Right in the middle there, where you're saying, I want to use this to write one
Mm-hmm.
email to my best customers, and I'm going to understand how to write a prompt, and then I'm going to edit it, and then I'm going to send it to my editor, and I'm going to see how much time that has saved me. And what I'm seeing and what we're seeing in the agency is that it really is a time saver in a lot of ways for developing content calendars, developing ideas for blog posts, and competition
Mm-hmm.
research, keyword research, copywriting. But it has to follow still a workflow. It's not like you can just say, put in 3 words and it spits out a 7,000 page ebook for you that's perfect,
True.
right?
True. 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 Okay, so and you wrote even a book on authentic marketing in the age of AI. So why? First of all, when you wrote this book, is just recently or it's an old one?
Yeah, no, I just released it in early September. Yeah, I've worked on it all
Early
year.
September.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So it's the right time for that one.
Yes.
So what we can get out of this book, and what are the key areas which are covered, and it's just important for someone who wanted to read it, and what he can get key takeaway from it.
Well, I think what I really bring into is the sweet spot of saying interact with
Mm-hmm.
these AI tools. Um, I have a list of the big directories that if you want to
Mm-hmm.
make images, then these are the places where you go and do images. If you want to do copywriting, here's these copywriting tools. If you want to have a whole marketing campaign, here are these tools. So it's to start to play with it and then go to these big directories and put in uh, find the tools that help you with the gaps that you have right now. But the
Mm-hmm.
critical part is that you are maintaining your humanity and your authenticity in the
Mm-hmm.
marketing, and that's the differentiation that we have as small and mid-sized businesses. That we can make a promise of humanity and we can deliver that promise of humanity. And we have to do it using this new tool, which is an amazing tool, but it's still GIGO, right? Garbage in, garbage out.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't
Mm-hmm.
care for it correctly.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And is it's available on in a print, or is it electronic, or how is it? If
Yeah, it's
someone
on
wanted to get
Amazon.
it.
It's on Amazon and
Okay.
so both by print and by Kindle ebook. Yeah.
Okay. Now, um, maybe it's within your 30 years of career. What's one thing you wish you know before starting something? Maybe you're writing a book or career, or maybe doing a marketing agency, or anything.
I think the biggest thing is that is the network of people in my over my career. I did not do a good job of caring for my network when I
Mm-hmm.
was a young man, a young professional, and I wish that I had brought forward all those people who mentored me and helped me along the way, and so that I can participate with them still and connect them with the new things in my life. And I think that's a critical thing for a, a young business person is to know that you've got a long career ahead of yourself and that your network is really where the work gets done. And caring for the network is probably the most critical thing you can do.
And what are the key things someone need to do to broaden network, or maybe ensuring it, which you learned it that you should have done it earlier?
To know their birthday, know their spouse's name,
Mm-hmm.
know what's important to them, know what the things that are keeping them up at night, and if there's other people or things that you can do to help close those gaps for them. And just the way that we do for our family and our friends, that we care for our network of help in this with the same care and compassion.
Wonderful, wonderful. I like it. And what are the bad recommendations you hear in the marketing space, where
Uh,
you are expert and you are doing it day to day? That's your day to day. So
yeah.
if you ask me, I can tell you, 50 bad recommendation in my career, in my job, which I do day to day. So what could be your?
Well, this idea that's coming back. Well, there's two things that are funny to me. The first thing is the interruption marketing, right, with the pop-ups
Mhm,
and all this.
mhm,
Like we've already been through this cycle once, where we got tired of the pop-ups and then there were pop-up blockers, and then people stopped interrupting. Well, that's come back for some reason, which is
mhm,
terrible. It's not good marketing. And it's tied to the idea that we're seeing with because of AI and because of the supercomputers that you can broadcast messages to massive numbers of people, right? Huge numbers of people
mhm,
that are in marketing talk, they're suspects. They fit a
mhm,
demographic or a psychographic profile, and so they're suspects. They may or may not need the product or service that you're
mhm.
talking about. Um, and this spray and pray strategy has been disproven uh, through the entire history of time. So it's a waste of time, and there's not easy and fast money to be made that way. You're annoying people and you're wasting your time with spray and pray.
Okay. All right. Okay. So let's maybe next 10 minutes, we have a scenario. So there's a new company and someone is having a less budget. It could be a technology or a software as a service organization, or maybe he's starting the services business in any industry. He's a one man solo man. He's just starting up some his own budget or maybe saving, and he want to start embark on a journey that where he want to provide a services, or maybe he's creating a product. And as he's having a limited budget, so from a marketing point of view, what are the initial some ideas or some key areas he should be targeting it, which can help him to get started with the minimum budget?
Yeah, if it's a B2B proposition, then yeah, I would say we really want to focus in on LinkedIn and build
Hmm.
up that profile correctly so that it tells that story. And then, um, to use the messenger by reaching out to specific professionals who could help either as customers or as connectors. So we have to understand, do the work of the ideal client profile, and then find those people on LinkedIn, and then use a service like Apollo.io that gets you all the contact information that you need, and will show you information about their company, and you start to fill out some things about that human, and to ask for help and say, hey, I've got this idea about a product, or I have this product, I need some help,
Hmm.
and to not make it about a pitch, but to make it about how they may be help you and connect you to a service or a person that can benefit you. But it's a multi-step process to build.
Okay.
And so, the challenge is we need the sale today, and we need the money yesterday. But businesses are built over time, and uh, and so we have to take that approach of laying the brick one at a time.
Okay. And the way nowadays industry is talking about content marketing, content, and is it differentiating factor that he or whatever he's in his business is keep creating content and pushing it, or just like a static content is I feel it's my view that maybe it's like a boring one, but is it there should be a some, what could be the better option?
I think we have to go back to this idea of stratification, and that we lock in
Hmm.
into the clients that provide the biggest dollars, and we really understand what their motivations are, whether that's pain or pleasure, or what the needs are, and provide either content or aggregate content that's valuable to that person so they can continue to self-educate. But just
Hmm.
more content for the benefit of content is not a good plan, but very clear, easy to digest uh, help. That's what we need.
Hmm. Okay. And in you also over the years got a chance to hire your new colleagues or teammates, right? So what is the key characteristics or qualities you target with the individuals while hiring teammates, or it could be freelancers, or it could be part of your full-time employees?
Yeah, I think the first thing is obviously they have to have the talent, right? They've got to be
Hmm.
good, and because if they don't have talent, then you're not going to be able to. You don't have enough time to train them up. At least I never have.
Hmm.
And then they have to have a certain amount of resiliency and ability to problem solve on their own, and take on things that maybe is not exactly in their wheelhouse. Like they
Hmm.
may be an HR person, but they're willing to take on the project management because they're good with details, right?
Hmm.
So this kind of,
Hmm.
we call it pickup basketball. You're just like, hey, we're here, we're gonna just play. We don't have real positions. We're just gonna work to score baskets, right?
Sure.
Um, so it takes a person with that kind of mentality in a small
Hmm.
enterprise
Hmm.
to fill
Hmm.
in all the gaps.
Okay. And how do you see marketing evolving in the coming years? You're seeing major change with these latest tools and more into AI being injected in every bit and pieces of softwares, applications, even socials and all that? Do you see any impact?
Yeah, I think it's gonna continue to get granular. In those tools, we'll be able to identify, and trigger marketing. So, from the search for a new boat, then you get the pay-per-click ads, which we see already. But then you click that pay-per-click ad and on a certain brand of boat, and then it will provide that brand with the financing options based on your credit score and the delivery date that's delivered to your house. So there's it's going to be easier to buy things that we want, but the flip side is we're going to deal with a lot more messaging, I think, and we're already seeing that with email. I think is that every day we're getting more and more email that's offerings. So I think the space that opens up is the telephone and direct mail will continue to be have a kind of resilience in that it'll be another channel to reach out to people, and it's more expensive, but you have a ability to target if you're paying attention to your ideal client profile, and it'll be a way to get through.
All right. So, thank you so much for joining. So maybe if audiences want to reach out to you or so what is the best way to reach out to you? Maybe you want to share it?
Sure. Yeah. I have a website called emmanuelrose.com, and that has all the information about the books and how to contact me. I'd love to hear from your audience.
All right. Thank you so much. It was my pleasure to have a chat with you and learn from you, especially the insight I can relate to it. The CEO message that you need to come every Monday. That's quite resonating. And then a social CEO, and then coming back to individual that you need to keep showing up every Monday. I'm just relating to them. And then authenticity in the age of AI and marketing. That's important. Really, any concluding remarks if you want to share with the audiences that will just close the show?
Yeah, of course. I appreciate your time and thank you very much. And if you're in the marketing space or you need to do marketing, I would say continue to tell a clear, true story and be willing to share a little bit about yourself so people can connect with that.
All right. Thank you so much, Manuel. Pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you.